Welcome on into this week's edition of the Huskies Rundown, brought to you in part by Bent Paddle, locally brewed and locally sold here at our Huskies games, every home game at Wade Stadium. My name is Henry DeMore, alongside a guy who I usually do broadcasts with, Eric Rossvold. Happy to have you here with us. Huskies come into today 3 games under 500. They've lost 6 of their last 7, 15 and 18 on the year. Were swept by Eau Claire in a home-and-home. Lost to La Crosse, had a rainout, split with Bismarck, and then have dropped 2 to St. Cloud, who they will play twice in the next 2 games. Eric, let's just get right into it. The pitching has been spotty. What have you seen out of the pitching these last few games?
It's been definitely interesting. Like you said, big thing is going to be the bullpen and our closer, Kevin Fullman. He's been doing a very good job. Obviously, can keep it consistent. Team leading 20 strikeouts on the year so far. Definitely coming in a .67 ERA, so doing a very good job of that. Also, we've seen Ryan Cunningham, the UMD, 23.2 innings pitched, having a day like that. I believe it was 14 walks and 16 strikeouts as well. And then Joe Gonrowski's another one that has been very solid in the bullpen. But the biggest thing for the bullpen so far for the Huskies has just been kind of getting overused. We see 5 of the Huskies bullpen breaking 10 appearances so far this year. So maybe that has a little bit to do with the starters not going as far, but that's something we kind of need to improve on for the second half of the season if the Huskies are trying to make a late push here.
Yeah, like you mentioned, the starters haven't been going as many innings as I think anyone would like. It's been about 3 or 4 innings, especially these last couple starts. We saw even Ryan Cunningham, a guy who has been so consistent. He got roughed up his last start and led to just a long day for the bullpen. But I completely agree with everything you said. I mean, Kevin Fullman has been absolutely phenomenal through thick and thin. He's striking out. He struck out, like you said, 20 guys in 13 innings pitched, let up 1 earned run all year. And offensively, things have been pretty good, but like you said, when the pitching hasn't been there, the Huskies have always been playing catch-up, and that's it's hard to say it's a sustainable formula for success here, but there have been some bright spots, definitely. I mean, we'd be remiss to talk about the constant productivity of Cameron Williams and Matt Frazier. They're guys that can hit for average and hit for power, and they can run all around the base paths. And, of course, the 3 guys from UCLA, Jack Stronach, Chase Strumpf, and Jake Prees, guys that literally walked into starting roles here for the Huskies and have played pretty much every day. Jack Stronach, despite his dipping batting average, finally got a hold of one, hit a home run. Jake Prees has had a few doubles in his last game. He even had a stolen base. He's got 3 stolen bases in his last 5 games and has gotten a base hit in every game he's played in a Huskies uniform. Matt Frazier, we saw his batting average dip down 100 points from a superhuman 430 to a very respectable 333. But the offense, it's been those 5 guys, and even in the last game against St. Cloud, a game where St. Cloud, they do it on the back of very good pitching and very good defense, and that's a very sustainable formula for success, and that's why they've been in first for such a long time now, them and Waterloo kind of going back and forth. But we saw the Huskies kind of get back to small ball. 4 stolen bases on the day yesterday between Williams and Prees, and it's going to have to be stuff like that when the offense gets spotty. You're going to have to manufacture runs another way.
Yeah, exactly. And we look forward to a little bit of the All-Star break coming up. And what do we see for so far? We're going to both go kind of our predictions right now, a little bit, the top players we're seeing. What do you have so far?
Oh, man, I'd say if I could send 3 guys to the Northwoods League All-Star game from the Huskies, my 3 would be Matt Frazier, Jake Prees, and Kevin Fullman. You might say, well, Jake Prees only been here for a couple weeks, only played 12 games. But in every one of those 12 games, he has notched a base hit, sometimes 2. He's shown a little speed. Like I said, 3 stolen bases in his last 5 games. He's gotten a hold of him. He's put a couple over the fence. He's been solid out there in right field. Matt Frazier's been consistent offensively, but also defensively in center field. He's tracked down everything that's been hit to him. And out of the bullpen, Kevin Fullman has been the model of consistency, something that the Huskies definitely need going forward.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. My top 3, starting with Kevin Fullman, again, like those team-leading 20 strikeouts. Just a number that's been consistent, and he's been a huge role for everybody. So I could see him coming in, maybe throwing a closing role at the All-Star game as well. Plus, I'm going to go with Cameron Williams from Dallas Baptist. 3 for 5 the other night with a double and a home run at the first game in St. Cloud, and then a couple hits last night. And then finally, mine's a little bit different. Mine's Augie Isaacson, batting .302, but been a kind of consistent role all year, playing multiple positions, kind of that utility infielder the Huskies need. Very speedy as well. We've seen him all over the base pass, and then defensively as well. So I like Augie. I like those 3 players, and I think that the weeks coming up, we could see something, obviously brewing up for the Huskies.
Yeah. So 2 more games against St. Cloud here at home at Wade Stadium, and then 2 more games at Wade Stadium. The first time the Bismarck Larks come to town. That'll be games 5 and 6 against Bismarck, starting up the second half of the season. And over this next week at Wade Stadium, beautiful weather sure to be in the forecast, despite a rain out earlier in the weekend, some crummy weather, but the weather's going to be looking up. We've got some promotions coming up today at the Wade. Every Monday matters. Every Monday, the Duluth Huskies partner with the Salvation Army to help those less fortunate in our communities. Tomorrow on July 4th, Military Appreciation Day. Anyone with a veteran ID can get in for free, and their families will get 50% off general admission or reserved tickets. On Wednesday, Harley-Davidson Sports Center night, free Thundersticks will be given out to all fans in attendance. And finally on Thursday, in partnership with our partners Burnix, Miller Lite, and Heineken, a bottle opener giveaway. So a lot of baseball will be played here and a lot of good times to be had at Wade Stadium. We hope you come out and join us. Eric, any parting thoughts before we wrap up here?
Not for me.
All right.
Great episode here.
Great. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Huskies Rundown, brought to you in part by Bent Paddle. We'll see you next week.